loan, EMI, and revenue projections. In today's session, we will see the fun with Excel for every finance professional, especially those who are in the world of analytics. We will use the data table function, the less known outside the analytics purview, and this is something which will be of great help for those who are pursuing finance-based professional courses like CMA-US, CFA or FRM, or any other similar kind of course, or if you are into financial analytics or desiring to be part of financial planning and analysis or business analysis, this is one hidden tool within Excel, which today we will be actually learning in our lesson. So let's dive into our topic of loan and EMI projections. Okay, so I have my first scenario where, say, the loan amount is 10,000 and let's take an interest of 6% per annum. So in costing world, we always learn that everything should be of the same unit of measure. In Excel, for calculation of simple interest or EMI, we convert everything into the monthly thing. So even in this case, I'll convert this into an interest per month. So 6 divided by 12 as a percentage. So that gives me 0.5%. Say if it is 4 years of tenure, again, convert everything in terms of months. That's what Excel understands. So I will make 4 into 12, which is 48 months. So that's my tenure. Simple interest, easy to calculate. Loan amount into your interest into your tenure. That tells me that the simple interest is 2,400. So what if I want to really play with one of the parameters, say the interest? If I want to actually change, instead of 6%, I want to see what happens if it falls to 5 or if it moves upward. So what I'll do, I'll copy this and I'll take 5 by 12 just to cross check whether the data is working well. 6 by 12, what we just calculated. I'll also do it for, say, 8 by 12. So we looked at 5%, 6%, and 8% respectively. What happens if the interest rate is fluctuating in between this? So all that we need to do, just simply give an is equal to. Now highlight this entire area. As you can see, click on Data tab. Since I was using the words what if, go to what if analysis, click on Data table. It asks for row and column. As you can see, this is a column, the data 0.42, 0.5, and so on. So I just select the column, which is my input of interest. So we are telling the system that I want to see what is the simple interest if there is variation in the interest per month. And let's say OK. You can easily see this variation now for 5%, 6%, which matches with our answer, and now 8%. That was a simple interest calculation, which we did with the help of the data table. Let's see one more example where now we will calculate EMI, most popularly used by banks, NBFCs, and even for our personal finance, we need to calculate for vehicle loan or home loan or personal loan, what is the monthly commitment that I have. I'll take the same example, copy it here, 10,000, 6% per annum, and say 48 months, which is 4 years. We'll use a PMT function, which is useful for calculating your EMI. It says rate. So I can now directly take because it is per month already calculated for us. NPER, which is number of periods. Again, Excel understands in months. That's why we took it in 48 months, which is 4 years. It asks for present value. EMI is a monthly commitment that I have to pay. So what is the current value? I'm taking a loan of 10,000. That's a commitment, which is an expense for me. So I'll take minus of the amount. Remember this minus symbol, that is a must, so that your answer will not come in negative. This tells me the EMI is 235. So monthly commitment for next 4 years is 235. Want to see the variation similar to the previous example? What if the interest fluctuates between 5, 6, and 8? So I'll copy this, take it here, 5%, 6%, 8%. Similar to the previous one, just give n is equal to, so that the formula is replicated here. Highlight this entire area. Once again, go to Data tab, What If Analysis, Data Table, and again, provide your column. So why are we giving column? So you might be confused at times whether it should be a row or a column. Just see how your data is, shown here. It is reflected in a column. It's not in a row. If it was shown horizontally, then you can use a row. So your 0.5%, which is 6% per annum, 235 matches with our data, and then the fluctuation. So the EMIs are fluctuating between 230 to 244 for 5 to 8% respectively. That's how you can use what if data table. Now you might have a question in your thought process that what if I keep fluctuating both with the tenure and I also want to see what happens if something changes in my interest. So let's use the same data table with two variables changing. I'll take the same data, 10,000 of loan amount, 6% per annum, which is half per month, and 4 years, 48 months. I'll use the same formula, PMT. Now, since I have two fluctuations, so what I'll do, I'll copy this formula as it is, and I'll just observe the way I'm actually doing this so that it will be easy for you. Now we'll use a row and a column since I have more than one variable, two variables are there. On my row, say if I give 48, which is my tenure, I want to see the lower tenure of 36 months, which is 3 years, and also see a higher tenure of 5 years, 60 months. On the other hand, I want to see the fluctuation for same interest. I'll do a Control D so that it copies down. Instead of 6%, now I'll take 5%, 5 by 12, the percentage is automatically calculated. And also I'll see 8 by 12. So I've copied the formula as it is. I gave n is equal to the EMI formula. And then on the rows, I've taken the tenure, 48 as it is, 36, which is 3 years, and 5 years, which is 60. On my column, I've taken the interest, which is 6 by 12, 0.5% per month, 5 by 12, and 8 by 12 respectively. Now highlight the entire data set, go to Data, What If Analysis, Data Table. Since you have both row as well as column, now the row, highlight your tenure. Column, we are telling the system that please take column as interest as your input. Now you can see that the system automatically calculates. So we don't need to really know coding nor the equations. It is very easy in Excel, the simple logic of using PMT function and the data table. Now, to cross-check whether the data is giving me the right answer, my EMI was 235. It matches with my 6% and 4 years. 1. 2. All my scenarios have been created. So this tells me if I postpone and negotiate with my bankers for 5 years at 8% per annum, I have an EMI of 203. This is how you can use the hidden function called the data table, very famous amongst the analysts like us. But for those who are yet to know, this is an opportunity to learn the what if data table function. You can use for one variable, you can also use for two variables. Now the next example, we'll see revenue projections, which is very popular amongst any calculation of valuations, including mergers, acquisitions, and any kind of projections. Say I have selling price, quantity, and a combination of these two, which is value. So let's say 100 is my selling price and quantity of 10. Value is a product of selling price into quantity, as we are aware. So I will use the same what if function data table and see if there is a change in my selling price. So as usual, I'll just give an is equal to, so that I'm telling the system that take a reference from this formula and make the variations. Now my selling price, I'll take as it is 100. Say if it falls to 90, what happens? It goes up to 110 or 120, what happens? Highlight the entire thing, select it as the way I can show. Go to data tab. What if? Data table. Again, it's a column, as you can see. I'm selecting the selling price. So I'm telling the system that, hey, if there is a fluctuation in the selling price, give me the overall value. To cross-check whether the data was giving me the right formula answer. So I have 400 selling price into 10, 1000, 90 into 10, 900, 110, and 120 into 10. Respectively, it's giving me 1100 and 1200. So this is worth it. So like the previous loan EMI example, what if I want to change both quantity as well as the selling price? So let's do that. So I copy the entire 100, 10, as well as the value formula. I take to the next scenario. Since I have fluctuations happening both on row as well as column, just give is equal to and link it to your formula. So on my row, I'm changing the quantity. So I'll take 10 as it is. Say if the quantity is 8, or if it is increasing it to 12 or 14. Same way for selling price, I'll take 100 as it is. It falls to say 80. It goes to 120 and 140. So I highlight this entire data set, go to data tab, what if analysis, data table. My row is obviously I can see my quantity here. I select the quantity. So it's taking as the base reference, and as column, your selling price. Click OK. Done. The magic is there in front of us. 100 into 10, 1000, 100 into 8, 800, and so on. You can cross check any of these. 140 into 10, 1400, 1400, 140 into 14, 196, which is 1960. So this is how the power of data table. You can use this for valuing enterprises by EV by EBITDA and do your revenue projection. So for financial modeling, this is how you can use data table. So we looked at loan, we looked at EMI, and we also looked at the value of revenue projections. So I'll just do a quick recap for those of you who missed. So we looked at the loan amount and the interest. For Excel, we need to tell the system everything in the form of month so that there is no confusion for you and to the system. So for 6% per annum, I simply did 6 by 12, which is 0.5 percentage. So it's automatically taking the percentage into 1 by 100. Tenure for 4 years, I've taken directly 48 months, 4 into 12. Simple interest, which is a function, a product of loan into interest into tenure. So we've applied that. I gave an is equal to. Now I want to see the variation with one variable where the interest, it falls to 5%, 5 by 12, stays at 6, or it moves up to 8 by 12, 0.67 per month. So we got using the data table. So you click by selecting the entire data, click on data, click on what if and data table, and highlight your column. As you can see, this is a column. So you select your interest as your column. That's how you can input. Same way we used a PMT function. So for those of you who are not aware, you can use a PMT to calculate the equated monthly installment EMI per month, so that you can calculate this first and then do the same what if data table. We looked at both tenure as well as interest fluctuations. I have percolated your tenure on the rows 48, 36, and 60, as well as the interest fluctuations similar to the previous 5, 6, and 8% per annum. So you have your calculations automatically. So if you try to bring a change, say in between, I want to actually try just to look at it, say 4% per annum, 4 divided by 12. You see, automatically the change happens for your calculations. So we don't need to go and revisit the formulas. Whatever you want to do, say if you want to make this 50 months, calculations are taken care. That's the beauty of data table function in Excel, and you can use this for all your projections and valuation, basically modeling. So you can use this for revenue modeling, cost modeling, or financial modeling per se. So this is CMA Kiran of C2C Consulting. More power to you. God bless.